Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. It's Wednesday, July 20th here with Simon Borg. I'm Nick Forshaw. And Simon, we got a lot of action to get to here on Wednesday night. Let's start with a new era of sorts for the Toronto FC. They're up against FC Dallas, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can follow along on Matchday Live here on MLSsoccer.com. And Simon, this is going to be the debut of Danny Kovermans, one of the new brand new designated players for Toronto, and some other changes as well.
Yeah, Danny Kovermans expected to start it forward, possibly with Ryan Johnson, one of the acquisitions from San Jose Earthquakes. And also there's the other designated player, Torsten Frings, who's expected to be a leader in that midfield for Toronto. A lot of great things expected from him. He's going to have to produce immediately because Terry Dunfield and Julian de Guzman, both players, will be on the bench, on the sidelines due to injuries.
And they've made a lot of changes up in Toronto. They're going to finally see if they can reap some of the benefits of that one. For FC Dallas, another big game on the road. They've played well much of the season. See if they can continue their hot streak out in the Western Conference going in this one. Let's move along to Colorado, where the Rapids play host to the New York Red Bulls. Simon, this is a big one for the Rapids. They just lost Connor Casey. We found out on Tuesday about his Achilles injury. He's going to be gone for the rest of the season. How are they going to fill that hole going up against the Red Bulls?
Yeah, the immediate solution is Caleb Folon. They also have other forwards on the bench, Quincy Amarikwa and Andre Akpan, but Folon is the key. He's had some nicks during the year, some little injuries. They're going to want to manage his time and keep him healthy, but you have Matt Kanji also coming back. But Folon is going to need to pick up the slack, and I think he's shown well in his previous matches. But for the Red Bulls, they need to get it going on the road, especially score some goals and get more than this one win they've had all season while away from home.
Yeah, and one win in their last 5 for the New York Red Bulls, and they've been shut out each of the last 2 games. That game is at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Matchday Live here on MLSsoccer.com. And one last game that we want to take a look at on the MLS slate. It's the Columbus Crew visiting the LA Galaxy. Simon, when these two teams met last year in the regular season, they were the 2 best teams in the league. It was a big battle of the best. What do we expect from this one this time around?
Yeah, LA Galaxy really going through a tough injury stretch right now, especially in the back line. Omar Gonzalez has a broken nose. We don't know that he's going to be ready to go, so they're looking at Greg Berhalter and AJ De La Garza in the middle. A little bit of an injury crisis for LA. Columbus, a good opportunity for them to come in and maybe make a statement win. LA looking behind their shoulders at the Western Conference teams that are now catching up. A player we will not see tonight, Tony Chani, the new acquisition of the Columbus Crew. He's going to sit this out. He has some inflammation in his knee.
And Simon, you mentioned that trade. Andy Iro, one of the key cogs of that trade, on his way out of Columbus. We're going to have to see how the Crew defense does without him. He's been a key part of that defense for a few years now. Certainly, last but not least, the Seattle Sounders playing host to Manchester United as part of Man United's U.S. tour. That one's at 10 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Simon, this is the one we've been talking about all week. Potentially the best MLS team, the best chance to knock out Manchester United up in Seattle.
Seattle definitely the hottest MLS team right now, and that's why the prevailing sentiment is that Seattle could pull it off here in front of their home crowd, and really the first time that a U.S. team is going to have the home team in its favor against Manchester United here in the United States. And for MLS fans who have to put up with their fellow soccer fans, oh, the Premier League, the Premier League, this one of 5 MLS versus Premier League matchups. It's going to be interesting to see the final tally at the end of the day.
And in Seattle, they're expecting more than 60,000 fans for that game. You talked about the home crowd. It should be a big one up at CenturyLink Field. And you also mentioned all the games tonight. Log on to MLSsoccer.com for a full schedule and all the coverage of the games. We're going to be here all night covering all the games. And one last thing before we go, we're ramping up our All-Star coverage beginning Saturday. If you're in the New York City area, you can head down to Soho here in Manhattan and check out the All-Star Hub. Simon, that opens Saturday at 11 a.m. And then on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do 2 live editions of Extra Time Radio from down there.
Yeah, first time in a long time that the All-Star Game is in New York. Looking forward to how New York City and the fans in New York City receive Manchester United and the MLS All-Stars. It's going to be a crazy week.
Well, for full coverage of the All-Star Game, log on to MLSsoccer.com/All-Star. And for all the coverage of tonight's games, log on to MLSsoccer.com.